Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out 2-sentence horror. Story 1. 3940. Here I come. Mommy will never find me, I thought, as I closed the washing machine door. Story 2. Tickets for the survival flight cost a reasonable $500 but were sold out in seconds. Be sure to check out our official resale partners for extras. Story 3. This is a different flavor than usual. I'm used after my second drag on the joint. What strain did you say it was again? It came highly recommended from my guy, he called it Jimson weed or something. Story 4. We had so many things in common that I began wondering if he might be the one. It wasn't until he was walking me to my front door that I remembered I never told him where I lived. Story 5. The concert was awesome. I loved the atmosphere and the style was so unique. The vocalist was fucking amazing, truly a chilling vocal style, and let me tell you, it was the most metal shit when he slit his wrist. Story 6. The humanoid figure screams my name while slowly walking towards my home. I don't care who IRS sends, I'm not paying taxes. Story 7. I took my chance and got on one knee to propose to the love of my life where we first met years ago. As I saw her jump off the bridge, I knew then that my therapy had worked but hers had not. Story 8. A child orphaned. A tale so grim approached the boy whose eyes were dim over parents' remains, with a heavy chore, knife raised, in the shadows once more. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 9. The man's lifeless body was an oddly comforting sight for her. She no longer would have to worry about him trying to harm her mother. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 10. Most things are mostly hollow with panels on the outside to look nice. Shelves, walls, bags, cars, houses, people. Story 11. My engineering professor always randomly chose volunteers to help out with the lectures, so I wasn't surprised when he called my name. The last thing I remember him saying before my hand was crushed is neodymium magnets are quite strong. Story 12. My 4-year-old acted fast when she realized her skirt was on fire, working quick to douse the flames. When I discovered her still clutching the melted bottle of rubbing alcohol in her charred hands, I would have given anything to go back in time and teach her that not all liquids put out fire. Story 13. SCP-23. The study involved giving me a child to rear from infancy, and today my sweet little girl is turning 7. I wake suddenly, and after fighting through the haze of all those memories I realize I'm still in the room where the study began, and none of it had been real. Story 14. I had the windows open, allowing a chill breeze to flow through the house. Then, the glob glogab galab, in all his schwabel dabble wobble gabble flibber blabber blab binus, emerges from the book I was reading, and I am crushed to death under his schwibble glibber kind ass. Story 15. DEC-23. Lin doubled over in agony as something twisted within her bloody hands, tearing through the flesh of her stomach from the inside. Her screams were drowned out by the giggles of her newborn son. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 16. Steel would sing around him. Yet, as the rhythm increased, his hearing would lower. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 17. Why did this subreddit show up in my 2023 recap as my top submission when I've never posted here? And why does the submission say March 12, 2024, aneurysm? Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 18. The crowd cheered and called my name, thousands of phones recording my every move. As the trap door opened beneath my feet, and the rope tightened around my neck, my world faded to black. Story 19. It cost an arm and a leg, but I finally got my girlfriend a new car. I just hope she forgives me after the anesthesia wears off. Story 20. Every ride I took was old and creaky, everything I ate smelled off and had some sort of crust, and to be honest I don't even think the employees were there willingly. And I was told this was the best brothel in the city. Story 21. They referred to it as a double due to its ability to copy a person's appearance. When I asked it to turn into my deceased grandmother, it chose her appearance after the accident. Story 22. I closed my eyes as my clan surrounded my naked body with hay, lard and wicker. What came next would be painful, but, with any luck, the gods would guarantee their survival for another year. Story 23. When I woke up from the surgery, I was surprised to find myself all alone in the empty waiting room. All I could hear off in the distance was weeping and gnashing of teeth. Story 24. My partner and I rushed into the abandoned factory when we heard the horrible screaming start, hurriedly trying to find the source. We entered the room where the screaming was the loudest to find an old tape recorder lying on the ground, but when we popped it open and the screaming from it stopped, we stared in awe at the empty receptacle. Story 25. 5 people lost at sea for over a week. There is nobody left to eat but myself. Story 26. They're so small, said the humans looking down at the ants, and so easily crushed. They're so small, said the gods looking down at the humans, and so easily crushed. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 27. While searching for a nice private spot away from the rest of the madness of Halloween Horror Nights, my girlfriend and I found a haunted house that wasn't listed on the official event map. It's been 15 minutes since we went into the back rooms, no exit, and aside from the man at the entrance, we still haven't seen any scare actors or other park guests. Story 28. My husband and I opened the suitcase to confirm our suspicions it was not ours. We knew because the limbs were not in it. Story 29. Honey, are you almost done with those sundaes? My wife asked. It'll just be a minute, I responded. I wonder how long it'll actually take, I thought to myself as I placed the peanuts in the ice cream. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 30. The plague doctor just looked at us as we all started to cough up blood. Go and infect 10 others with the disease within 48 hours and I will give you the cure. Story 31. It's nothing more than a stomachache, said the school nurse. Splurred as I sat there motionless, staring blankly at the school nurse slowly dissolving away from my corrosive bodily fluids. Story 32. While sheltering in an old cave due to a severe blizzard, I stumbled upon a mountain of corpses and my resulting scream woke something even more monstrous. From the darkness emerged a gigantic gaunt terror with spikes of ice extruding from various points of patchy black fur, and as I felt its malformed arm pierce my chest, my last sight was a massive raven skull whose eyes glowed with endless hunger. Story 33. My mom always lets me sleep on car rides, so I figured I'd let her do the same. I'll have to wake her up when we get home though, so she can get me out of my booster seat. Story 34. I used to work in a sewer, and during my time there I saw used tampons, dead rats and even a dead body. But none of these were my favorite keepsakes. Story 35. My boss had the audacity to introduce me to the smiley humanoid robot that would be replacing me on the factory line. It would have been a lot easier to process if the thing hadn't winked at me on the way out. Story 36. Push when you feel the baby, my father reminds me yet again, holding my free hand tightly. As I nod and grip the large stone that I'll soon be slamming on my imminent newborn, I regret telling my daddy that we were expecting. Story 37. A year of hypnopompic hallucinations followed by sleep paralysis has caused me to not understand when I'm awake or asleep. Last night I saw my house burning, now all I see is the walls of a blinding white room without any doors. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 38. I heard a loud thud coming from the living room late at night but couldn't find where it came from. When I walked out I heard loud static and a screeching help me, then the TV turned off. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 39. He swam out of the plane wreckage in the dying afternoon light and broke the surface of the open ocean. In the dying light he saw a large shark fin coming toward him on the surface, leaving a triangle wake in the dying light. Story 40. After losing my first baby I was told I had to have an emergency hysterectomy in order to survive. This was 5-something years ago, and today I received an envelope with CCTV pictures of my husband handing over a briefcase to the doctor who saved my life. Story 41. Spit it out, my little brother screamed, crying. I didn't understand why he was so scared when I sucked on the lollipop until I saw the blood. Story 42. One by one the lights on the aged console winked out into a lasting darkness, leaving the board illegible. In the quiet of the command bunker the men watched them fade away like the cities they represented. Story 43. I told the apartment's security guard of every woman who lives alone to make sure they're safe in this troubling times of a murder spree. Tapi palikasal orang yang aku bajata tu jadi next target? Story 44. After months of treating my contamination OCD I was finally ready to try a burger again. I don't think I would have relapse if it wasn't for the giant clump of hair that got caught in my throat as I swallowed. Story 45. I snapped the perfect Instagram photo of my beautiful friend overlooking the vast and breathtaking ocean backdrop. Then I watched helplessly as she lost balance and plummeted off the side of the cliff. Story 46. DEC23. Her lips were rose petals and her voice silk as she sang in my ear, tonight I'm going to try something kinky. Every time I struggle into my wheelchair I have flashbacks to her terrible grin and her knives and her cold whisper, double penetration. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 47. It's always been hard for me to choose who to trust. After all, 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead, as the saying goes. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 48. The lift shuddered to a halt somewhere in between the 18th and 19th floor. I thought help would come soon, but it's been days, and they still won't pick up the phone. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.